So hi guys, welcome back to Overtime Heroics. I'm joined today by Team Fish Tank's head coach, Andrew Fisher. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Thank you. How are you?
I am good. So first things first, it seems congratulations is in order. You've just had a wee baby.
Yeah, she's a week old today. So this is baby number 4 for me.
How's she doing?
She's lovely. She's no bother. She sleeps as well. My partner, it wasn't like the nicest labour, so she's still she's fine. She's happy in that. Just a bit sore still, and she can't really get out and about. But apart from that, everything's really fine. To be honest, we're perfect.
Oh, that's good. Just that they're both getting it.
Yeah, they're fine.
That's the main thing. And she sounded well earlier when she was setting up the Zoom call. So that's
Oh
good.
dear. Yeah, she's sound.
So just to kick things off, what's been the biggest impacts of being a gym owner during COVID?
It's obviously the money, isn't it? The financial problems we're having. Like I've still got my professionals training, but you kind of make your money off the hobbies, I would say, or the keep fitters. So that's definitely been a problem. Oh yeah, there's been government grants and stuff, but it definitely doesn't really cover your bills and get yourself a wage. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing, really.
Because do you kind of worry that see those that do it for like recreation? Do you think they'll come back?
So you say again, them who do it for
Like for a hobby, do you think they'll come back to the gym, or do you think
I think people's dying to get back. The same when they kind of lifted the restrictions last time a bit. It was absolutely packed, and I didn't take any new members on because it was still very weird about what you couldn't do. But it was the amount of messages as well, and it went a bit crazy actually. So I think there's going to be a lot more people who's a bit sick. They're probably bored. They can't do any exercise. Like they're probably sick of just going for a run themselves or like lifting weights in the house or whatever. So I think it's probably going to be busier than it's ever been, if I'm honest.
Because that actually makes sense now I'm thinking about it. So there's probably a lot of people out there that kept saying, "Oh, I'll go next week or I'll go the week after," and then COVID's just kind of gave them that wee kick up the arse at once.
I think there's been a lot of people struggling with the mental health as well and stuff with all this.
Yeah.
And I think even if you're just doing it for that reason, just going to like a hobbyist kickboxing class or a hobbyist jiu-jitsu class, it's really good. You're around like-minded people. And like when you're doing it, you're not thinking about anything else. And I think, and you go away and you're thinking about what you've just done, and then you're excited for the next time. So I think it gives you something to occupy your mind with as well. So I do think it's really good for people who're struggling as well. Like I'm quite fortunate with us being professional, and I've got plenty of professionals that I've been able to train still. If I didn't get to train my once or twice a day, I think I would just go insane. Like I don't think I'll be able to handle life.
Yeah, because you're seeing that a lot, and there was an incident on social media the other day, and it's this young lad that trains Muay Thai, and he's not been able to get.
Oh yeah.
It just drove him to like desperate measures, and that's.
Yeah. I think he was from my way, wasn't he? He's from Middlesbrough way, maybe. Remember about that? Yeah.
I think so, because I've got him on one of the Twitters that I run, and.
Did he commit suicide? Did he?
No, he got in a standoff with armed police.
All right.
Aye,
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't hear about that. Just there was another lad from a kickboxing gym. I don't know what happened, but I know he just passed away the other day, and that's what I thought you were talking about. So I don't know why. Right. Like, okay, right.
I think that's it. I think it's the cases are so high because I've got people that are quite close to me that trained martial arts, and since the lockdown, they've not been coping well at all. So,
yeah.
See, with that in mind, has that changed the role of a coach for you? Because do you now take on the role of more of a confidant as well? Because if you're not seeing these guys at training, are you having to like check in a lot more?
No, I would say like what's changed for me as a coach, I would say, is because I'm only now the professionals training. Now I've got like at full strength, there's 18 professionals in the gym, so we'll still get quite a good session out of it. And normally I would be trying to teach like pretty much nearly every class. But obviously for the past year or so, I've just been working with the professional fighters. So it's kind of like being away from trying to plan classes to suit everybody to literally I've just worked with the fighters and I've really, really liked it. Like, but as regards to checking in with everybody and that, like obviously if anybody has a problem, they're definitely more happy messages and stuff. And I have spoken to a few people, but some I haven't even spoke to them for like while this has been happening.
Yeah, because I suppose it'll be that way as well. That you like the people that use your gym. There's so many of them. It is almost
There's a
impossible.
lot, yeah. I think there's a lot of people, like, and it ends up being like some. I think some you end up a bit more friendly with than others. Not that I like every one of them. There's not one person who comes. I think I don't like him, but I tend to find you end up gravitating to the ones who ask you the most questions. Like for some, I don't know. I think it's when you're a coach, you really like people asking loads of questions and asking you about the techniques, and asking you to show stuff and ask for help. And then maybe it's just because they spend the time talking to you more. But I generally feel as a coach, you always tend to gravitate towards the ones who are really interested and ask loads of questions a bit more, I would say.
Yeah, because you touched on them a wee bit there, that you've still got like your professionals training, because obviously like Callum Eleanor and Phil DeFries, they both train at your gym and they've both been fighting during COVID. What kind of impacts has that had on their training camps?
I don't know. I think it's I don't think there's been anything negative. Like I say, we've got that many pros. It's been all right, and we've also had some guys in for the lads to spar with who are other professionals or other professional boxers I've had for. Like I had Jim Tendon fight last time, and I would get somebody from a different discipline, like a boxer or whatever, or a professional K1 fighter. He done some round sparring with people like that. So like I say, because I haven't had to watch over however many people's at the gym, I've just had to watch over these set few people, and especially there hasn't been a lot of guys fighting. So when James's last fight, he was the only one for my gym fighting, so he pretty much got all of my attention. Every drill, every session we're doing was kind of catered for that. And now I've got a few more fighting at the minute. Phil's got a big fight coming up, and I've got a couple of me less experienced pros. They've got fights coming up as well, so I've been trying to spend most of my time just on them, which has been good. I've been able to do that.
Just as you were saying there, that got me thinking, like, is this maybe a positive
Yeah,
experience?
it's been amazing. Honestly, it's been like I say, apart from the financial problem with it, I've enjoyed it so much. I've taught stuff that I really want to teach that I think gets people better. I've taught loads of little details, and I've been able to do drills that if you're not a fighter, you maybe would find it a bit boring because you don't want to be doing the same stuff over and over again. But if I'm honest, and even away from the gym, me and my partner's been on furlough as well for the whole time, so we've just knocked about and went to like woods and in the summer and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and just went to the beach every day. So I've honestly had the best time of my life. I can't grumble at all.
Because that's it as well. It allows you to take a kind of step back, because obviously when you, like with your gym, you're traveling a lot when all the guys are fighting. So that probably is a benefit for you as well. Like you get to kind of switch off, have that kind of you time with you and your family. Have you felt that?
Yeah, I try and get a good balance. Like I say, as long as as long as I get to train my twice a day, so say what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever it is, as long as I get to do that 2 times a day, I will literally do anything else. I will play with my kids for the rest of the time. I'll do the dishes. I'll hoover up. I'll tidy. I'll take my whole family somewhere. I will do, as long as I get to train, I'm quite happy to do that. It's when I don't get to train, that's when I start getting really ratty and stuff, and I start like I don't know, getting a bit resentful of things and stuff, But if as long as I get to train, I'm perfectly happy.
Because is there anything that you've learned during the last 12 months, like maybe coaching tactics or kind of styles that you're you'll look to implement once things start normalising again?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of fights, I would say, doing this as well, and like I say, I've got a like. I definitely always think I try my best coaching anyway, but I would say the past 12 months, I've got like a new found hunger for doing it, and I'm really motivated to learn. I find myself watching loads of fights, and I find myself watching the same fight over and over again, and watching loads of breakdowns. So my learning, I think it's my ability to learn is went through the roof as well during this time. So I just think it's apart from obviously everybody's business is shut and stuff like that. I've had a great time, you know, and like for myself as well. I think I've grown as a person loads as well. Like I say, I'm not a very social person anyway. I'm very social at my gym, but apart from that, I'm quite a family man. I just spend time with my partner and my kids, and that's it. I don't really see a lot of other people unless it's at the gym.
Because I think the way you're looking at this, the whole kind of COVID situation, it's a great way to look at it. Because see, if you look for the positives and everything, you'll be happier. You'll be much. I think.
Well, it's the same with anything, you know, like
Aye.
any like you can find anything to whinge about. It's so easy to whinge about anything. It's so easy to be happy about something as well. It's just I think we're just conditioned to always look for the bad as well. And like same with anything, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of an example, but there could be something so stupid, you know, like any daft little thing happens, and you can spin that to be a good reason as well.
Yeah, aye, that makes sense. So you spoke about some of your fighters having fights that are up and coming, and as I believe you've got 3 fighters on Cage
Yeah,
Steel.
I did have 4, but Joe Millwood was meant to be fighting. His
Yeah,
opponents pulled out, and I've tried to help with the promoter as well, and he was well the matchmaker. Sorry, to try and find a replacement. I tried to help by offering some suggestions as well, but I think at the time, because there's not the kind of money to offer with there being no crowd, it's a very very small purse. So we offered our purse as well to try and sweeten the deal a bit.
all right.
So Joe would have fought for free, and then we were even going to put a bit more in for his opponent if he would take it, but the guy wanted too much money as well, and it's like so we couldn't find anybody. So his fight's off. So I'm a bit good about that because he's improved loads as well, and I would like to get to showcase that.
Because how's the preparation going for the rest of your guys? Like without giving too much away, obviously, because I know it's 2 weeks, a week on Saturday to the
But on
event.
Saturday, yes, not on now. So I've also got Mick Parkin, who's our heavyweight. He's only 1-0, but we've been trying to get him a fight for the past year, and like people just aren't accepting it. I think he's had quite a few amateur fights as well. And he was undefeated as an amateur, which is a bit unusual for a heavyweight, and he fought good guys as well. So when he's went to pro now, a lot of the heavyweights won't fight him at all. So it's having a bit of a hard time getting a match. So we're quite fortunate. Jan Lysix agreed to fight him.
Yeah,
So we're just taking what we can get at the minute and building it from there. And hopefully, I understand why they won't fight him. The guys who's maybe had like 5 to 10 fights, they're just saying they won't fight somebody who's only had 1 fight. The real reason is because Mick's actually really good. That's why they won't fight him.
aye.
And then you got to think the other guys who maybe only had like 1 fight or debuts, they don't want to fight him either because he's good. So it's just I don't know. It's just a bit of a tough thing for the heavyweights because there's not many of them either.
Because that seems to be quite a common problem. Because especially with who Michael trains with, like he trains with Phil
Yeah.
DeFries, who's the
Aye.
new heavyweight champion. Think people sometimes do a bit of Instagram stalking. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, the heavyweight it's the shallowest division anyway, and everybody wants to get somewhere. Every single person, like if you're a heavyweight and you get to say 5-0, 6-0, there's a good chance you're going to go to the UFC.
Yeah.
So everybody's trying to do that. So I think sometimes they're not really taking the risk and stuff like that. It's the same like Tom Aspinall from Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, he's from Wigan, but he trains at Carbon because Mick's been going to train with him as well, and he was saying he had the exact same problems coming through. So he would go for maybe a year and a half there to fight, and he would just have to take whatever he would get. So we've kind of decided, we'll agree that that's what we've got to do as well, and just try and get whatever we can.
With situations like that, where guys like Michael are going so long without a fight and they're getting so many knockbacks, how do you as a coach keep them motivated?
Michael just likes to train. He's just
Yeah.
he's you know when I was saying before about you kind of gravitate the guys who ask you loads of questions and stuff like that. He will have me in that gym for about an hour afterwards, just asking us a question about a certain technique in a certain position, and he stumps us sometimes, and then I've got to get an answer. He doesn't need to have a fight to be motivated. He's just motivated
Yeah.
all the time, regardless. That's why he does so good, and that's why he's going to do well.
Because I was just thinking there as well, that makes him seem even more impressive. Like his mind's that strong.
He's just a happy, positive guy, you know. Like he's just like a nice guy. He's really bubbly and like he's a bit of a joker. But I don't know. Sometimes it maybe gets a bit frustrated if you can't do something. But apart from that, like I don't. I've never thought of him like, oh, he's not motivated to do anything. He trains more than any other heavyweight, as well. Trains more than any other person I think I would see in the gym.
So what about your other two fighters? How are their preparations going?
So Robbie Brown, he's fighting flyweight. I think Warren Mason, he's fighting. It's his first pro one. Robbie's had a massive amateur record. I think he's had about 40, 50 amateur fights. And so he's having a pro one now. And I think that's a fair fight. The one he's got there. I think the other guy's good as well. And I'd like to have that way. It's definitely not a gift for Robbie by any means. I think it's a 50-50 fight, which is good there. And Robbie's training hard for that as well. So I kind of fault him for that. He's improved massively, and he works really hard as well. And he's just so scrappy as well. So he's hard work for anybody. And then Ross, he's one of the coaches at the gym as well. He's 2-1 Ross, but he's beat a couple of good guys as well as a pro. And he's another one. He's the first one there. He's got a key to the gym. I'll get there, and he's been running the treadmill or doing some weights or whatever, like an hour before anybody else even gets to the gym. And then when it's finished, he's doing some mobility work afterwards. And it's the same again in the night time, and it's the same again the next year. And he's really put the hard work in.
How have you felt with cornering fights during coronavirus with no crowds?
I've got to be careful of swearing.
Aye.
It's not as forgiving as it. I don't know. I think it's at first it definitely felt a bit weird. I would say. I remember we had 3 guys fighting on the first ever Cage Warriors. That was, when the lockdown first happened.
Yeah.
And that was the first ever show anywhere in the world without a crowd. And that did feel it had this weird, eerie silence to it. But then, to be honest, now I can't really remember what it was like to have the crowds. Because we've been like I've fought since, and I've been to a few other like arena shows where it's in an arena and there's no crowd there, and it just feels normal now.
Yeah, because a lot of fighters seem to quite like it because it's quicker. Like the process is quicker. Like there's not as much waiting about backstage. If that makes sense. It's more like a kind of conveyor belt, and a lot of fighters I've heard say that helps them with their nerves.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think the well-run shows anyway, they generally are like a conveyor belt. They give you a time, and they generally do stick to it within give or take a couple of minutes. I would say it's the more novice shows or the more regional shows where I don't know, it could be till 2 o'clock in the morning you fight. Like I fought on something like that, and I think I fought on. Remember Omac in Liverpool? I main evented on that before, and I think it was about 1:30 in the morning. I fought Shea Walsh 1:30 in the morning before I went out to fight. I would say it's the more regional shows. The big shows, I would say they kind of run like clockwork normally. They're very well run.
Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. So, last question for the night. Where is it you see the gym in 5 to 10 years' time?
I think I've got a good few guys now, and some good amateurs coming through as well. And the good guys I've got now, they're helping bring the new ones on. So hopefully I'll end up with more pros, and we'll have more guys on the bigger shows as well. I haven't got anybody in the UFC yet or anything, so I would like to do that to tick off the box. And then from there, I would like to have somebody who wins a title for one of the bigger organizations as well, like say Bellator or UFC. We've got Phil KSW, which is pretty big, but it'd be great to get somebody for Bellator or UFC as well, wouldn't it? That would really kind of cement it. But we are just growing as well. But I don't think we're one of the older gyms, but we're getting there.
And that's it as well. Like guys coming to your gym, they'll get to look up to guys like Phil and guys like Callum Eleanor that they see in the TV, and that'll give them inspiration to come to your gym.
Yeah, oh, definitely. It's like it's advertisement, really, isn't it? The guys who go out there to do well, and then young kids want to come to our gym, and like kids from other gyms who maybe start going pro, they want to come, and like so it is really, really good. It looks nice.
Because it's the same effect as what John Kavanagh had over in.
Yeah.
Once,
one superstar, don't they? Steamrolls.
And it's that way as well. A lot of people from Scotland, England, Wales, they were going over there for their camps.
Yeah. It's like obviously Conor McGregor is absolutely phenomenal, but there's some other guys who are absolutely amazing as well. Do you know what I mean? They just maybe
Yeah.
didn't hit the spotlight or maybe didn't get the look sort of thing. And there's a lot of gyms like that. You know, there's some really, really good guys in gyms, and for whatever reason, they haven't got the full package to put it all together where people want to watch them, or whatever reason is, whatever the catalyst is for it to work. But you need that one kind of like star who takes it, and then that just attracts everybody, and then the gym just booms, doesn't it?
Yeah, because what do you feel it is that kind of makes that person? Because I feel the point you made there was really good. Like, and I've noticed it, especially across the UK scene, there's a lot of excellent fighters out there that don't really get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same as like say Leon Edwards. Look how amazing Leon Edwards
Yeah,
is doing. And to be honest, unless you actually really closely follow MMA, they probably haven't got a clue who he is. Most
no.
English people, I don't know. It's just English people just they just don't really get behind it, do they? Really, like they definitely go and watch it and stuff, but I don't know. We don't really have that many superstars. Even Michael Bisping, he was the champion, you know, and like I don't even think most people even know who he is. Like I'm sure a lot of people do, but do you know what I mean? He's not like a household name, is he?
Yeah, that
So
that makes sense. There didn't seem to be the same kind of pull with
same in
this.
Scotland. I
Uh,
remember I fought on ACB in Scotland, and they went there, tried loads of money in. It was an absolutely amazing card, and the arena was completely dead. Completely
oh,
dead,
really?
you know. It was a great card. That's some great fighters on as well, but unfortunately, these people in this country, for whatever reason, they're not. I don't know. They're just not. You don't really have the fighters who are household names in MMA. You know, you don't have that like that Anthony Joshua really yet, or Tyson Fury for MMA yet.
Yeah, because that makes a lot of sense. Because obviously up here we've got Paul Craig, who's in the top.
Oh, look at Paul Craig. Look how amazing.
Aye.
He's ranked top 15 now. Absolutely amazing. And I bet you most people in Scotland don't even know who he is. You know, like he's such a fun guy as well. He's absolutely killing it as well. And he could be a superstar, you know, but for whatever reason, like it's not. And that's the same with most. You know what I mean? It's just, and I don't really know why it's not happening.
Yeah. So just we'll wrap it up with this one. I forgot I had one more question.
Go on
Is
then.
there any youngsters for your gym or gyms round about you that you've seen that we should look out for in the future?
uh, like he's had a few pro fights, but I think James Hendon is going to do absolutely phenomenal. He just fought in the last Cage Warriors. He lost to Paul Hughes, and that's his first loss.
Yeah.
But I think his work ethic and how good he is, you know, I think he'll do absolutely amazing. And Mick Parkin as well. I think, especially with him being in the heavyweights, where there's not many of them as well, providing he get the fights, I think he'll be fast tracked to the top as well. I think.
Yeah, so I'll definitely need to keep my eyes out for Mick Parkin next Saturday when he fights in Cage Steel, the 10th of
Yeah.
April. That's one I'm really looking forward to. So,
I think they'll do amazing. Hopefully, anyway.
so thanks very much for your time tonight, Andrew. Do you have any social medias you want to shout out, anything like that?
Oh, I should have wrote these down. No, I'm okay.
It's all right. You can send me some of them and I'll put the link.
Nah, it's cool. I'm alright, ass. Thank you, mate.
No worries, mate. And thanks very much at home for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Cool. Thank you very much, mate. See you soon.